Hi, everyone. Today I'm going to speak about a topic which is a little controversial. Uh, the topic itself is controversial, and what I'm going to speak about it is even more controversial. The topic is the metaverse, which is controversial because most of the people think that the metaverse is just one piece of fiction, just a word coined by technologists so that everyone gets excited about a new buzzword. Be that as it may, the thing that I'm going to talk about is that perhaps the metaverse can help us become more green. Perhaps it can help us in our fight against global warming. Now, the moment you hear this, many of you are going to just put up your hands and say that it's just not possible. Technology, especially metaverse, can be extremely climate destroying. It has a massive carbon footprint. One of the reasons is that one of the technologies that powers the metaverse are blockchain and cryptos, and enough has been said and written about how uh, bad a carbon footprint and how much power these technologies hog. The other big technology that powers the metaverse is AI, and AI is being revealed to be as big, if not a bigger, power and power consumer than blockchains. In fact, one large transformer AI model, say with 200 million plus parameters, which is par for the course these days, would emit an equivalent amount of carbon or CO2 as 125 round trip flights from New York to Beijing. The other thing is that the metaverse lives on the cloud, and clouds are notoriously polluting. In fact, the clouds today have the same account for the same amount of global carbon emission as aviation. And so, if all this is true, how can the metaverse be green? Well, as with most things, it's not the technology itself; it's how we use it, what we do with it, that really defines whether a technology is useful or not, productive or not, or whether it's green or not. Now, think about a few things. Now, for example, events. A huge amount of events happen. I recently saw a car launch which happened in the metaverse, and that set me thinking that if these events were not to happen uh, physically, but if they were to happen in in the metaverse, the amount of net carbon that we would save, people traveling there, the whole physical event would actually be quite amazing. But there are bigger things. Think of fashion and fast fashion. Fast fashion is a notorious planet killer. In fact, it's one of the top 10 industries, if not higher, which kind of does a huge amount of CO2 emissions. It takes about thousands of liters of water uh, and 35 kg of carbon dioxide to produce one fast fashion garment. Now, what if fashion could happen a lot on the metaverse and then you choose what you really want rather than kind of picking up all kinds of clothes physically? You do fashion shows on the metaverse and then choose what you want. And people are doing it: Nike, Adidas, Gucci. Many of these are kind of invested in it. Think of remote work. The amount of pollutants when we commute to work and when millions and tens of millions of people commute to work are not trivial. And if a lot of that work was to happen on the metaverse, again, we would save a lot of carbon. The interesting thing which is also happening is that the clouds on which the metaverse lives are actually becoming more and more greener. And so Microsoft, for example, has said that it's going to head towards a carbon-free cloud in 2025 and Google in 2030. And so there are ways in which we can use these new technologies like the metaverse to actually make our planet green. Well, I told you this is going to be a controversial topic, and so I would welcome uh, your comments on this and your backlash on this, if it may. Until then, have a good day and rest of the week, and see you soon.